Okay, hello everybody. I normally don't film like this. Normally I film everything on my computer and I can't do video because I don't have enough storage space on either my phone or my computer to be able to utilize video, right? I mean, it's still a video, but it's a bunch of pictures placed together. Anyway, what I want to try and start doing is I want to start doing YouTube Shorts videos for people who don't want to listen to full-length readings, and also I want to do things where I just feel intuitively drawn, like, hey, maybe not everybody can listen to this message, but those who feel drawn to it will listen. And so I was only going to do a YouTube short today, only using 3 cards, but cards just kept flying out, so I'm like, okay, Spirit, let's just limit it to 6 cards then. Usually for my full-length readings I do 6 cards. So if looking at these cards you feel drawn to this message or the messages that I will be relaying, if you just already, upon clicking on this video, if you feel drawn to what I'm about to say, then you can go ahead and continue listening, and if it doesn't resonate, that's completely fine. Just remember, everything is for entertainment purposes only and is alleged, and nothing can be stated as fact. Okay, so the cards I pulled, it'll be opposite for you. So the first card I pulled was the 8 of Cups in reverse. Then I pulled the 3 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse, Empress in reverse, 7 of Swords upright, and we have Ace of Wands upright. So immediately I'm like, okay. And also I was gonna film and upload this on a different day than I am. I was gonna upload it sometime a little bit later on, but Spirit's like, no, like, you should release this as soon as you can. I'm like, all right. So with this reading, basically, if you're wondering if your partner, for some of you this could be a situationship as well, if you're wondering about whether or not they're being faithful to you, like, what I mean in terms of a situationship, it could be like, maybe it's a situationship or like an FWB situation, but this person is saying, oh yeah, I'm not talking to anybody else. So that's what I mean lumped into this, or any other similar situation regarding a situationship. But in terms of a situationship or relationship, are they being faithful and loyal to you? The cards are saying no. Now, we do have, the last card I pulled was the Ace of Wands here. That can indicate actual physical cheating, but it doesn't have to. I mean, 7 of Swords literally is about being deceitful and can specifically be about cheating. So it seems like even if you just put these two together, if these were the only 2 cards I pulled, I didn't have any questions beforehand. I just intuitively was like, what cards need to be pulled for this message for whoever needs it. Are they being faithful? No. Could be physical, because we have this here. It's likely that even if they're not physically, romantically intimate, like all the way, if you want to say, it seems like they still could do things like your partner and this other person, such as holding hands. This could also just mean showing up at each other's places, even if you're not actually doing anything, being around each other. It could indicate also, if you have a feeling about it being a work connection that they have. I mean, they're around each other unless you know, they work from home. If you're, like, for example, in an office setting, it's likely that they run into this person a lot or can easily see this person a lot. So even if they're not actually, like, physically intimate, this indicates to me that they have gotten together. It's likely, even if, for example, they are around each other a lot at work, this also indicates it's likely that they get together outside of work or outside of the usual setting in which they run into each other. There is a sense of something inappropriate going on, to whatever extent. I can't obviously say explicitly, but this is a negative indication. 7 of Swords, literally, like I said, is about deceit. It is about just flat out cheating. So even if you don't suspect this person being physically intimate, also when I think of physical intimacy, for some people that could also include like certain conversations, I guess I'll say, that are had, dirty talk, okay, that kind of stuff could also be going on with this. That's also what could be indicated, or like what people want to do together, and I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, Seven of Swords indicates either way, whether it is physical or not, this person is likely mentally or emotionally cheating. And if they're not fully cheating on you or being unloyal to you, there is still likely... Sorry, my cat is up on the table. He always, whenever I'm playing tarot, by the way, he goes crazy. So I won't be surprised if he starts zipping around. Anyway, Seven of Swords, what was I saying? Indicates cheating. It doesn't have to be physical cheating. Oh, with the mental and emotional stuff, I wanted to talk about, it could even be simply that they could have a crush on somebody, but they're just not explicitly saying it. Oh my god, one second. Yep, going crazy. You could find out that they have a crush on somebody or they're thinking about somebody, so maybe they haven't made that move on that person, but they're still thinking about them. So maybe for some of you that's considered cheating if, you know, obviously they're thinking about somebody else while in a relationship or situationship with you. This could also be like a past partner that they're thinking about. I'm not really getting the sense of that. It just feels more like either way there's somebody they probably have a crush on or that they have romantic feelings for, whether they've acted on it or not. They probably have in at least some capacity. But yeah. Yeah, Eight of Cups as well, in reverse, indicates that I think they're already thinking about potentially walking away from this relationship with you. So, just keep an eye out for that. It's likely they've already thought about if they should keep things going, and they are wondering about whether or not... Yeah, like, I just think a lot of your partners have already one foot out the door where they're like, I feel like this won't work out anyway, and especially if they already are having these other thoughts. So yeah, they're already thinking about moving on, or this could also indicate they're going back and forth on actually physically cheating or actually taking that step to reach out and see if somebody else likes them. But yeah, definitely not a good signal. And then we have here the Three of Swords in reversed. Yeah, it just feels like their heart isn't in it. And with the Three of Swords in reverse, this indicates healing. So that's why I said it could be that they're thinking about somebody else in their past still. Either way, it just feels like their heart is somewhere else, is what I keep hearing when I'm seeing this card. And their heart is not in it with you. And it feels like, I feel like they've already set themselves up with the speech of what they're gonna give to you, of why, the whys and hows, for basically why they want to end the relationship and why they wish to move on. And I feel like they can maybe even not sweeten the deal, but try to sweet talk you and be like, oh yeah, see, this is actually a good thing for you that we end it because XYZ. Okay. Let's get to these last ones here. We have Queen of Swords in reverse and the Empress reverse. Yeah, so there's something that this person is not telling you. There's something, and also I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if they are gaslighting you about this situation, if there's something you know and you've already brought stuff up, like, hey, are you being faithful to me? Are you being honest and real with me? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, everything's fine. Like, you're crazy, or you don't need to be like this. Just because past relationships were like this doesn't mean that I'm like your past partners. And then you find out that they are. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do try to gaslight you. And also I wouldn't be surprised if over these next, at least, I know it seems like a long time, but it's not really. But over these next couple months, could be like 2 weeks to 2 months. I keep getting 2. So 2 weeks could be 2 days, but 2 weeks to 2 months from now, if y'all are still together, you might notice that their communication dips, where they're not talking with you as much, which could concern you, which makes sense, obviously, if you already have concerns. But it feels like their communication with you will start faltering. And if they text you, usually, like, if they get off work, they get home, it's like maybe they text you like 3 hours after they usually get home, and it's like, why are you taking so long? You know, things like that to consider. Yeah. And then the Empress in reverse, this indicates to me, it can indicate a couple of things. One thing I want to bring up is some of you maybe are not wanting to accept this fact, even if there's like blaring obvious signs or red flags that are presenting themselves, even other red flags in this relationship or situationship. It feels like, you know, this person doesn't treat you kindly or treat you the way you deserve to be treated, and Spirit is like, you deserve to be treated like the Empress upright, not the Empress in reverse. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's patterning of this, or even if this is somebody who you either been dating a while, or I want to say gone on breaks with for a while. But I wouldn't be surprised if past relationships as well, just you've been in relationships where people haven't treated you kindly because you don't have as much confidence in yourself, or you have a lower self-esteem where you're like, I don't want for myself to be lonely. Some of you could have codependency issues, but I just get a sense a lot of you either way feel that you won't find anybody else, or you won't find somebody better. And think about also, again, the words that this person says to you. Like, do they make you feel like crap? Are they like, yeah, like the beginning of the relationship or situationship was good, but now you do this and it really like irks me and upsets me, and like, you'd be lucky if you date somebody else after me and they'd be able to put up with that, because it's something that you should be lucky I'm even being able to put up with. Like, it just feels like you feel yourself like you are somebody that must be put up with, but you're not. You're somebody who is deserving of love, care, and kindness. And so Spirit is just here to remind you of that, and to remind you explicitly of your self-worth. And also, with the Empress being reversed, being in this relationship or situationship isn't good for your mental health, and I think it's probably affecting your physical health as well. Like, I'm getting sleep is probably being impacted right now. Hard to sleep, hard to turn off your brain at night because of the worries that you have. And so Spirit is saying that the way this comes across is being in this relationship or situationship in and of itself is an act of self-harm. So Spirit wants you to get out of that. They want for you to recognize that you are a beautiful person. You just have to recognize the beauty in yourself instead of having to rely on this person, because obviously they're doing something. If you're clicking onto this, I mean, it was for a good reason, because all the signs point to something fishy happening. So I can't say explicitly, like, is your partner, like, legitimately cheating, like, physically, mentally? I can't 100% say, obviously, but it does indicate there's something fishy. If I were to say if they're cheating, yes, I can't say if physically or not, even though we do have the Ace of Wands. But Spirit is saying that if there's a way for you to safely end things first, that would probably be best. Also, like, this person seems like they probably have a big ego. Even if they act like very humble, I feel like they actually have a big ego on the inside. So I feel like ending things while you can would be best for you, and also will help you, because it's like, then you can control that part of the narrative of this situationship or relationship. Like, hey, this is something I did for myself, so that is a form of self-care. But also, it's something where you need, like, not you, but the other person needs to be humbled. Okay, I hope that this was insightful and helpful. I'm sorry it wasn't all roses and sunshine. If you've ever listened to any of my other videos, I don't like to just sprinkle sugar on everything. I like to say it as it is and how it is. But hopefully this does help you in some way. And thank you so much, and take care. Bye-bye.